Hey everybody, Dan here with Pain Free You. Welcome to the weekend. It's another gorgeous day. I'm loving the fact that spring is here. So, today's topic is going to be the people who struggle the most have this common trait. And I will I'll get to that in a second. I'm going to enjoy this beautiful sunshine. I'm hiding behind the shade of a tree just so I don't squint. Blue skies, white clouds, absolutely stunning out. I'm probably going to sit out here for a while after I get done shooting the video. All right, relax, breathe. So, the people who struggle the most have this one common trait: a reluctance to believe that they're actually okay and that TMS and perceived danger is the cause of their pain or symptoms. For all the people who struggle the most, they are so reluctant to believe TMS, tension myositis syndrome, or the mind-body syndrome, or PDP, perceived danger pain, is causing their symptoms. Now, they may have done the assessments at isthistms.com. They may have seen very clear results in the assessment that says your symptoms are behaving like your brain's creating them. But yet so many people still are reluctant to accept that. They self-diagnose themselves with this or with that or whatever it may be. What if it's this? What if the doctor missed something? What if the assessment's wrong? All sorts of justifications for why they can't accept the fact that they're actually okay. Now, I guess from my standpoint, my logical brain goes, why the heck would you want to argue for the fact that you're sick or broken when in fact you've got a very reliable assessment that says you're actually okay. You're just scared. Your brain is perceiving danger, maybe consciously, maybe subconsciously. But if you are consciously terrified, it's almost certain that your brain is creating the symptoms based on the perception of danger. So the people who struggle the most are the ones that 1, 2, 3 years later are still sending me messages going, Dan, this is going on. Is this TMS? Is this perceived danger? Inevitably, my answer is most likely take the assessments, right? The assessments are accurate. They are created by medical associates who've been practicing this mind-body work for decades. And so why wouldn't you trust that? Why wouldn't you trust a doctor that says, you're fine, go home? You know, I know the symptoms feel so real. I get it. And I do get it. They're scary. But what if you're actually okay? And it's just the fact that your reluctance to accept that fact is the reason symptoms persist or symptoms change or old symptoms go away and new symptoms crop up. What if it's the fear and nothing else that is driving this whole thing? I'm here to tell you it is, folks. The people who struggle the most are the ones that are captured by the fear, refuse or are very reluctant to listen to the logic of mind-body syndrome, TMS, perceived danger, pain, or symptoms. They're the most reluctant to accept the fact that, holy crap, despite how I feel physically, I'm actually okay, right? I just recorded a success story with a lovely lady from the UK, originally born in Croatia. It's a heck of a story. Her journey is incredible, and she's come through it. And so I'll encourage you to watch out for that. Her name is Georgina, and watch out for that. It's going to be showing up in the next few days. But it's just proof that after years of going through the medical ringer and not coming out with any solutions, she finally came upon the answer, and she was able to see herself in the description of mind-body symptoms, and she embraced it, and she learned as much as she could, and then she began the work of teaching her brain that I'm actually okay. And I'll let her explain it. But the key is she was not reluctant to embrace this as the cause of her symptoms. As a matter of fact, she was very convicted and committed to teaching herself that she was actually okay. And what I find is the people who struggle the most are almost looking to disprove TMS. Well, this happened. It can't be TMS, right? Well, yeah, it can. You know, I'm never surprised at the wild and woolly type of symptoms that come up from a brain perceiving danger. You know, and for the folks who've gone from one symptom to the next, or one symptom to multiple, and then, you know, an ongoing multi-year, situation, there's no way your body's falling apart that much. It's just not possible. And if you've got doctors saying, go home, you're okay, and you've got assessments that say this is brain created based on the perception of danger, this is TMS, as Sarno termed it, you know, part of me says, why the reluctance? Yes, fear. But fear's not keeping you safe. Fear is likely the single cause of your symptoms persisting and not going away yet. And so terrifying yourself is not part of the solution. And I'm not judging in any way, shape, or form. Look, I wish I could convey more clearly to the point that everybody who's terrified and reluctant to buy into this has that aha moment, like, holy crap, it really is just about fear. But anytime you start telling yourself, well, maybe it's not, that's when you go, shh, I've done the research. I've learned, I've gathered the knowledge, I've done the assessments. Holding on to the fear that something else is going on is delaying your recovery, point blank. The people who struggle the most and the longest are the people who keep on looking for reasons that they're actually broken. They're the people who are going to take the longest. And I'm not saying this to scare anybody. I'm trying to encourage you to look at the facts of what creates symptoms, does it apply to you, and then make a decision and a commitment. Because without that decision and commitment, your brain's going to keep on going, what if it's this? What if it's that? And you're going to go, yeah, what if it is? And you're going to stay in fear, which means your brain's going to continue to perceive danger, and your symptoms are going to stick around, or they're going to change, or multiply, or whatever. So the biggest favor you can do for yourself is foundation, fundamentals. Because somebody's like, but Dan, I journaled, I did meditation, I talk to my brain all the time. And my answer is, but none of that matters if you're convinced you're sick, broken, have a disease, something horrible's going on. Doesn't matter how well you do the tools and the techniques. If you believe that something else is going on and causing these symptoms, do you think your brain's going to let go of the symptoms that are caused by the perception of danger? Again, it doesn't matter how well you journal, do somatic tracking, breath work, all that stuff. All those tools are wonderful, but they have to be built on a foundation of knowledge, assessment, acceptance, trust that you're in the right place, that this is what's going on for you. Without the foundation, you're standing on sand, and it's very rocky. And as a wave of symptoms come, if you don't have a solid foundation under you, you're getting knocked over. Then you go back into fear again. Then you say, see, Dan, I'm flaring up. How come that keeps happening? See, it must be something else. It can't be TMS. Absolutely, that's actually more evidence of TMS. The fact that you're uncertain, there's a lot of doubt, and fear comes along, and whammo, here comes a bunch of symptoms. That's proof that the brain is creating it based on the perception of danger. Because if it was physical, doubt and fear wouldn't create these wild swings of symptoms. You wouldn't get new symptoms popping up because you got emotional. That's all evidence that perceived danger is driving the show. So I'm getting a little bit animated here. I've had a couple of conversations with a couple of people who are really, really struggling. And it kind of hit me. I'm like, the biggest trait that they have in common is their belief that they're broken And it's almost like when they speak with me, they're trying to convince me how broken they are. They're trying to convince me how significant their symptoms are, so that there's no way this is going to work for them because I'm a special kind of broken. And guess what, folks? You're not going to convince me. I'm not going to be swayed by that. And the last thing you want me to do is agree with you that you're broken, right? I will remain firm and sometimes very direct in my communication to say, you're not broken. The assessments indicate this. And if you're coming at me with, here's all the reasons why this won't work, or what you tell me to do is go live my life, but I can't do that for X, Y, and Z reasons. If you're coming at me from a place of being absolutely terrified, your number one job is clarity. What is causing symptoms? And if people are telling you it's incurable, or it'll get worse if you expose yourself to something that triggers the symptoms, you're operating on what I call misinformation and fear. Misinformation and fear. Without the clarity of what the heck is going on and causing symptoms in the first place, I'll say good luck to you, because you're not going to make progress as long as you're convinced you're sick or broken or something wild and woolly is going on. Does this make sense? Comment below if this makes sense. And if you're one of these terrified people who's been going on this for years, don't tell me, this has been going on so long, why hasn't it worked yet? Because you're terrified and you're not clear on what's going on. That's why it continues. If you want that to change, folks, go back to square one, fundamentals. What causes symptoms? Does it apply to me? My Fast Start playlist will bring you back to fundamentals. Erase the 1, 2, 5 years that you've been doing this stuff already. You haven't committed to the fact that it's mind-body. You're still arguing. You're trying to convince me that it must be physical. That's why you haven't made progress yet. That's why you're still struggling. So I'm not blaming you. I'm not shaming you or judging you. I'm trying to give you a little shake and go, come on. It's right here, right in front of you. Is this stuff difficult? Absolutely. I get it. But as long as you remain stubborn and reluctant to accept what's actually going on and keep on saying, well, maybe I am really sick. Maybe I'm dying. Maybe this, maybe that. As long as you're terrified, it's going to be really hard for any of the tools or techniques to yield any positive results. Go back to square one, dansfaststart.com. I want you to watch that playlist, and once you're done, I want you to watch it again. And when you're done, watch it again and again and again, but don't just watch. Take notes. That makes sense. Write it down. Implement. This is the key. You got to implement it. Right? Watching a video is nice. Might make you feel good for a little while. But if symptoms are going, you're going to quickly forget what was in the video. That's why I say write it down. But most importantly, begin to implement the suggestions. How do I teach my brain I'm safe? It's all in the Fast Start playlist. You got to implement, folks. And when you're done, go back to the beginning. Keep on learning. Keep on drilling on these fundamentals. Keep on listening over and over and over again. Because the second time you listen to a video, you're going to pick up something that you missed the first time. And the third time, you may pick up something that you missed the first and second time, etc. So, Fast Start playlist. Watch, take notes, implement, repeat over and over and over until you get better. You know, because I'll say to people who are messaging me, they'll be like, what do I do? I'm like, watch the Fast Start playlist. Oh, I watched that already. They're looking at me like, what else you got? That's it, folks. All the instructions are in there. So I'm not going to come up with a new suggestion because you kind of breezed through the first time. No, the solution is there. Look, if you want more direct help, join the group coaching program. You know, it's month to month, automatic renewal, but you can cancel anytime. It's $100 a month. You have access to me up to 16 different times a month. I'm online 12 hours a week that you can pop in, get your questions answered. You can hear some success stories and see that you're not alone. There's a whole bunch of other folks just like you going through the same journey. You know, for $100 a month, join for a month. But try it. Don't just join and go, oh, that sounds like the stuff Dan teaches in the daily videos. I'm going to get out. Commit to it. Show up. Ask questions. Key point, implement. Put this stuff into action. Because you can't just watch it and hope that by osmosis you're going to get better. You got to implement. You've got to start to change the way you think and think about and see these symptoms. And once you realize they're false alarms coming from a brain that's perceiving danger, you'll realize that your primary objective is to overcome that fear. But that can only be done once you understand what's causing symptoms and accept that that is exactly what's going on with you. And if you're walking around terrified half the time, this is absolutely what's going on with you. So if you want progress, you got to get off the starting blocks with the right tools in the toolbox, which is knowledge and clarity that this is what's going on. And, another fundamental is a belief that you can implement this stuff. Because if you tell yourself, I'm too scared, my anxiety is too high, I'm not going to be able to do this, your brain's listening. So don't tell yourself that story either. Anyway, I'm going on and on here. I love you all. Welcome to the weekend. I know you can do this. Get clear. The people who struggle the most are the ones most reluctant to accept what's going on and set aside their fear and commit to this. That's my biggest wish for you. Let's work together on dialing down the fear. Wish I could do it for you, and I try every day. But this is an inside job. It's up to you to really learn, deeply understand it, do the assessments, and make a decision and a commitment that you're not going to waver. Because doubt will absolutely delay recovery. So I hope you appreciate this. I hope this is hitting home for you, sinking in. Because you know who you are, the people who are still terrified after months, years of knowing about TMS. If that's you, you haven't dialed down the fear yet because you may not have accepted the root cause of the symptoms. So I hope this makes sense. And I love you, and I'll talk to you, as always, tomorrow. Take care.